friends, Miss Taylor here. Today in math, we are going to be talking about the C.U.B.E.S problem solving strategy. And this problem solving strategy will really help you with strategies and steps in order to solve word problems in math, not only this year, but all the years to come as well. So let's get into it. C.U.B.E.S is an acronym that stands for circle the numbers, underline the question, box the keywords, eliminate extra information, evaluate what steps do I take, and solve and check. In this video here, I'll unpack each step for you along with an example, and at the end, you'll be able to try out your own example on your own. So let's get into it. First one here, circle the numbers. Our question today is, students in Miss Jones's class sold tickets for the school play. On the first day, they sold 56 tickets. On the second day, they sold 99 tickets. And on the third day, they sold 101 tickets. How many tickets did they sell altogether? Okay, so first step we have to do is circle the numbers, which I've done on the screen. We've got 56 tickets, 99 tickets, and 101 tickets. Now, as I've written here, most of the time, numbers are pretty obvious if they're written in their digit form. However, sometimes numbers can be written in their written form. So for example, I've put at the bottom of the screen here, 222. So you want to make sure that you read carefully the problem to see how the person who's written the problem has identified the numbers. Next up, we have underline the question. So here, we need to figure out what the question is and what it's actually asking us to do. Now, typically in word problems, the question is written at the end, but not always, so keep an eye out for that. We can look for the question mark at the end of the sentence to really help us know if there is a question there. So for our question here, we are being asked, how many tickets did they sell altogether? Okay. Next up, we have box the key words. But Miss Taylor, how do I know what's a keyword? And that's a great question. Typically, keywords are words that tell us important information about how to solve the problem. It might be information about the quantities. It might be information about words asking us what to do. Now, my friends, unfortunately, it's not always going to say to us in word problems, here you need to subtract, or here you need to multiply. Therefore, we have to determine what words mean what types of equations. So I've boxed some important words in our questions here, such as tickets for the school play. And I've boxed that because we need to know how many tickets they've sold, the purpose of why we're solving this problem. I've also boxed how many and all together, because how many and all together helps me think that, maybe this might be about addition, right? If we're how many and all together, that makes me think of total, and that makes me think of adding. Next, we have E. E stands for two different things. First off, it stands for eliminate extra information and then evaluate what steps do I need to take in order to solve this problem. So up in the top right-hand side of the screen, you'll see that I've crossed out any extra information that really I don't need for this question. All I need to know is how many tickets did they sell altogether, and I need to know what the ticket value is, which I've already circled back in step number 1, circle the numbers. Okay, good. So I've eliminated any extra information that really doesn't need to help me with the question itself, such as students in Mrs. Jones's class sold on the first day, on the second day, on the third day, because the days don't matter to the question here. All that matters is how many did they sell altogether. So what steps do I take now? Well, I know, as I talked about in the previous slide, that all together means total, and total means addition. So I need to take the steps to add all the tickets together. And I know my values because I've circled 56, 99, and 101 tickets. All right, friends, we're on to the last step here, which is solve and check. So as you can see here, I've lined all my numbers up according to place value. I've placed the biggest number on the top, the smaller numbers on the bottom, and I've gone ahead and added it up. 1 plus 9 is 10. 10 plus 6 is 16. I put the 6 at the bottom. I carry the 1 to regroup. 9 plus 1 is 10. 10 plus 5 is 15. I put the 5 at the bottom, carry the 1 to regroup. 1 plus 1 is 2, and therefore my total is 256. So students in Mrs. Jones' class sold 256 tickets for the school play all together. Now, a couple of things I want you to note here. First off, we need to check our math before we write out any final statement. How we can do that is we can go back to make sure we've used all the correct numbers in the question. Sometimes we can make silly mistakes and accidentally write down, let's say 57 tickets instead of 56. It happens, and that's okay. That's why we have this important step to go back and check the numbers just to make sure that we've done it correctly. So now that I've gone back and checked 56 tickets, yep. 99 tickets, yep. 101 tickets, yep. And I've added it all up correctly. We're good to go. Now, you can even ask a friend to check your work over for you if you're working on a word problem. That's a great way to work together and to help each other out. Note at the bottom as well, I've also written a sentence to solve a word problem. That's really important. You're telling your teacher or whoever's marking your questions that you've understood what the question is asking you. How many tickets did they sell altogether? You're using that important language piece there, the word altogether, and you've told me how many tickets. So that's the unit, right? If you just wrote down 256 and circled it, I would say, is it 256 bananas total? Is it 256 train tickets total, right? We wouldn't know what it was unless you were specific and wrote your sentence out, okay? So there we have it. We have gone through the full C.U.B.E.S problem-solving strategy here. Circle the numbers, underline the question, box the keywords, eliminate extra information, evaluate what steps do I take, solve and check the problem. Now, I would love if you were to give this a go. So as you get to this last part here, pause this video. We'll keep this on the screen and you are going to work towards solving your own problem here using the C.U.B.E.S system, which we will have with us all throughout this school year. So I'll read the question to you and then I'll let you get started. Zara sold 29 tickets to the school play on Wednesday and 34 tickets on Thursday. Evan sold 58 tickets on Wednesday, but only 7 tickets on Thursday. Who sold more?